rappers. Can you name any off
Oh, I
hand we
mean,
can
you
look
know,
out for?
I called up, you know, like the Roots and Jean Grey, a sister from Philly. Have y'all talked to her yet?
Not
Oh
yet.
my God, she is like so popular in other countries. That's another
That's
thing
the
that bothers
thing.
me. Other countries have still held on to the grassroots feeling of hip hop, well, you know, and mainstream just has it. And the reason for that is corporate America, just like everything else, once they get their hands on it, it just becomes a bunch of mess, and they just don't care about the audience that's listening to the music. They don't care about what negative thoughts or input they're making in young urban children, and I can't even say just urban children and young children period, because hip hop is not hip hop is colorblind. I mean, it white kids, Chinese kids, like I say, kids around the world are listening to it. And unfortunately, our kids in America are the ones who are not getting the true essence of the genre. Other kids in other countries are. They're gravitating to it. So, yeah, it's sad. It's just so sad. I mean, I could go, I don't even want to name names because I don't want to feel like I left anybody out. But, I mean, they know who they are, and they know there's some serious artists out here that are doing some serious things. They're just not getting the limelight and the radio play.
How do you suggest they go about that?
Girl, that's a battle. I don't know how we're going to win it. I keep telling listeners to demand to radio stations what they want to hear, and put their foot down and complain and things of that nature. I don't know whether it's going to fall on deaf ears, but it's a start. And or just tell that radio station, because we all need listeners, and if they realize just how important, you know, their dedication to a radio station is, you know, maybe they would see it a little differently, because without listeners, we have no ratings. Without ratings, we don't have jobs. So listeners really need to put their foot down and plead with these radio stations to give us a more of a variety of hip hop music. I feel sorry for the kids on the beat that they have to play, you know, the Little Waynes. I'm not saying
all day long.
Just those, the same songs over
All
and
day
over
long.
again, as if there were no other songs to play. So yeah, it's sad. I feel bad for this generation of hip hop, because, you know, when we started hip hop, you know, some 30 something years ago, and I'm so proud to be a pioneer in that, it was to bring something positive into our community. It was a time for, like when Africa Bambaataa came up with the Zulu Nation and Kool Herc, and they started having these parties in the projects in the Bronx and everything. It was to stop gang war and drug fare in the communities. It was a way for us to put down our guns and knives and stop fighting with those, and pick up turntables and microphones and battle with those instead. And what a better outcome. And it was a way for us to express our feelings, the feelings and the opinions of urban America. And if you look at it now, if hip-hop represents that now, then we have a terrible community, girl. It's bad. It's really bad.
So you hear that, you have to demand what you want to hear. We all love Weezy, but we know Philly has a Weezy, and that's another thing. How can Philly artists, you were really influential in getting a lot of
Philly
artists played on the radio.
You know, I mean, radio, you know, my sister station, The Beat, they still play Philly artists. It's just the Philly artists that they play. I mean, no disrespect to Freeway and Gilly and, you know, and the rest of them, but, you know, can we just give them something else? Can we just not talk about drugs and drinking and I can't even say making love and screwing, because that they not even talking about making love and screwing every little girl that comes by. I just, you know, I just believe that hip hop is a genre that should allow all people to express themselves, and it just seems like the negative stuff is what's getting the airplay now, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Have you heard Brandy? She's brand new. Have you heard about that? And she's starting to rap a little bit. Have you seen her YouTube videos?
No, is she good?
She's okay.
You mean Brandy the singer?
Brandy the singer, Brandy. A lot of people are getting into rap.
No, Moesha, no, boo, no.
She's brand new.
I can't buy it. I mean, I wish you luck, girl. I love you to death, but I don't see that happening. I don't know. I want to see some more young ladies come out. You know, the last really hot female MC we had was Eve. And
I know.
I need her to come out with some more stuff.
Definitely.
And big ups to Queen Latifah for coming out with a hip hop album real soon, even though she's into her jazz and singing and acting and entrepreneurship now. But I want to see her come back. And Salt and Pepper, I talked to them a couple weeks ago, and Sandy and Cheryl are going to come out with a new song. They're even thinking about coming on radio in New York, so good luck to them. But yeah, females in hip hop today are a dinosaur. We just don't have any anymore. Back when, you know, I started rapping, and all the artists, all the females that I put on, I mean, it was a lot of us, and now it's just not. And I know I don't want females to get discouraged out there because it's such a male-dominated field. I want them to know that I was the only female back in the day when I, and I was amongst nothing but men. But I put my foot down and I demanded that respect, and that's respect I forced them to give me. And now it just comes naturally. But as a young girl, don't be afraid of these fools, you know what I mean? And you don't have to sell yourself, and you don't have to bend over in a wet t-shirt and wash your car in your video. You don't have to do none of that. You know, we are queens, and we can spit lyrics like queens.
That's great. That's a good message. So what can we catch from you? We can catch you on the radio now.
We can catch me on the radio every day. This is what I do. This is where I work. This is how I pay my mortgage and feed my kids. Thank you, God. With my radio job, I'm doing so many exciting things. I am truly old school, even when it comes to radio. I believe that radio is a community service, so you won't find me doing too much of the gossipy things. I am not a Wendy Williams or a Miss Jones. I don't like the negative news. There's so much positive news out there to report. But I'm really excited about this new initiative I started. It's called Get Your Kids. And every Wednesday, I invite someone from a program that's out there that helps children or, encourages them in any kind of way, from various organizations. If you know any organizations out there, if you have one yourself that helps children, I implore you to please call me. But I'm bringing that information to the radio every week, and it's really, really making a difference. That's the best part about it. Shalia is a young lady. She's a Spelman alumni, and she recently just had her first Uniquely Youth Summit for young girls 14 to 18 years old. And before she came on my show, she only had 58 girls registered, and she was actually charging $10, and things were moving really slow. But after she came on my Wednesday Get Your Kids thing, long story short, someone bankrolled the whole thing. It became a free seminar for the girls, and 500 girls signed up, and they had to close registration.
That is great.
So, and all the little girls, I get chills when I think about it. All the little girls were calling in to thank me, and just how much great information they obtained, and how many wonderful sisters came out and spoke to them. Denzel's wife, Paulette Washington, came out. Mayor Nutter's wife, Lisa Nutter, came out, and just women coming together, older women empowering younger sisters was just such a good look. And so big ups to Shalia and her girls and what they're doing. And this is their first of many that they plan on doing. So those are the kind of things I want to get out there in the community. I want people to know, especially young sisters who are, single parents who have no help with their unruly teenagers or their kids, and are just lost and just don't know how they can, make a better life for them. There are programs out there that can help. It's just that information is not given to them. And even though we have the internet and great sites like you girls have and everything, people, after you're a single mother and you work hard all day, after you get home and figure out how you're going to put food on the table, you just ain't got time to be searching on the internet. But as you drive home from work and you're listening to my basement party, and and you're falling back and relaxing and remembering the good times, it's a pleasure for me to give you some valuable information that'll help your kids too. I can tell you so many success stories since I've started it.
Sure, give me another one. We need positive things like that.
Okay, there's a program called DASH, the DASH program, and they teach children the business of entertainment. Because there's so many, especially black children, who want to be the next Allen Iverson or the next Jay-Z, and because they're looking at all the monetary value of it, when reality is they can't rap or can't play ball. And it's unfortunate, but what we don't introduce to them is all the money and the things that are behind the scenes. So the DASH program teaches them just that, the business, and just how much Shaq's agent makes. And, you know what I mean? And how much the guy makes that puts up the lights and the sound for the Jay-Z tour. Like, he's getting paid very well. And we need our children to know that, so that they, because when their dreams fall short, when they realize that they're not Jay-Z or Allen, they really don't feel like they have a future or nowhere to go, and that's so horrible. Like, how sad is that?
Definitely.
That they don't know that there's other things in life. So the DASH program, the kids came on. I met a little boy, Thomas. He was 11, And I asked Thomas, I said, "Oh, Thomas, what did you get out of the DASH program?" And he says, "Oh, Miss B, I learned about per diems and management contracts." And I'm like, "Really? This is an 11-year-old kid." And I'm like, "Really?" I said, "Well, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And he said, "I want to be a sports photographer because they make lots of money." And I'm like, "They sure do."
Exactly.
And then he said, "Well, after spending the afternoon with you, I think I want to be on the radio too." And I'm like, "Well, just go ahead with your bad self." And there was another young lady